I'm Sarah Fergani with KENS 5 News Now. A gas station held up for beer ends with a SCPD officer being dragged by a car. The SCPD officer was at the QT on Huebner and USAA on the northwest side around 10 p.m. The clerk told him two people had just robbed the store for beer. Police say the officer walked up to the suspect's car, but the two men refused to get out. They tried driving off and the officer grabbed the open door. Police say he ended up being dragged about 90 feet, and it was not until he threatened to shoot that the driver finally stopped. The officer suffered road rash and bruises. Both suspects now facing assault charges in addition to robbery. A 10-year-old is arrested for what he posted on social media. Police in Kerrville say the boy threatened to shoot up Peterson Middle School in Kerrville ISD. After investigating the online posts, police determined it was a hoax meant to cause panic. The 10-year-old, who is also a student at the district, has been charged with a terroristic threat. This is the third young boy to be arrested in a 2-week period for threatening to shoot a school. Park visitors on the east side are on high alert after the body of a woman was found on the Salado Creek Greenway Monday afternoon. BCSO says foul play is suspected. Deputies believe it's that of 63-year-old Stacy Dramiga, the same woman who went missing 24 hours prior, and a clear alert was issued. Deputies say she was planning to go for a walk on the trails around 10 a.m. Sunday at Covington Park, and that's where her car was found. The body was discovered about 2 miles away in a wooded area after deputies pinged her phone.
Well, I would see her every day, and she was mostly by herself. It's best to always be a company, and if it's a larger group, more than two, that'd be better, because each of you can help defend each other.
BCSO is investigating this as a homicide. A person has been taken in for questioning, but no arrests have been made. You saw that, a chase in the middle of a northwest side neighborhood Monday afternoon, caught on camera with the chase ending in a crash. A KENS 5 viewer says they heard the sirens blaring outside their home and sent us this video. Police say it all started as a robbery on Menchaca Street, where the victim told officers the suspect carjacked him, firing a warning shot before driving off. While officers were taking the victim's statement, a patrol officer spotted the car and started chasing it. The suspects lost control and crashed into a pole on Texas Avenue. Police say the suspects could face aggravated robbery charges. Shocking allegations of a racial slur being carved on a college student. That incident supposedly happened during a swim team social gathering at Gettysburg College in Pennsylvania. The college says it received a report a racial slur was scratched onto a student's chest using a plastic or ceramic tool. The school said the student accused of doing it is no longer enrolled. And the family of the woman who was shot by San Antonio police last week says her daughter was having a mental health episode. Valerie Harris says her daughter Janelle was walking up and down Babcock with a gun last Thursday when the SAPD officer shot her. Police say the officer said the 39-year-old pointed the gun at him, so he opened fire. She was injured and taken to the hospital. The mom says Janelle has a habit of buying BB guns and that her daughter has had mental health struggles since she was in her 20s.
It's like waiting for the other shoe to fall. The first shoe was mental illness. The second shoe is who's going to get there first and what is their response going to be.
The officer has been identified as Jaron Falcon. We've learned he's currently on administrative duty per department protocol as police investigate. People are shaken up after a man in a wheelchair was hit and killed by a train.
We have a dead man. We have somebody who still had years to live that just got picked up by the coroner because he tried to come across the railroad track so he wouldn't stand for hours in the sun over here.
Well, this happened in Houston Monday afternoon. A witness says the Union Pacific train frequently stops on the tracks for hours at a time. The witness says the man in the wheelchair was trying to cross when the train started to move, and it was too late for him. Union Pacific said the train stopped for less than 4 minutes that day, very likely catching the man off guard. High stakes and high security in New York City today as President Joe Biden is preparing to speak before the United Nations General Assembly. The speech is likely to be his last major address on the global stage. President Biden is expected to highlight the U.S.'s role in defending Ukraine, managing competition with China, and ongoing efforts to strike a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. However, experts say the real work will happen out of the spotlight. And speaking to farmers